Okay, now, coming up next is, for me, the giant mystery of this auction. Will it bring $600,000? Will it bring $3 million? Why don't you tell us what we're looking at here?
Well, I'd like to see if Greg Biffle or Tony Stewart's going to bid this up and drive it into the Nextel Cup coach lot at Daytona in a couple of weeks. But this is a piece of history. It's the 1950 General Motors Future Liner Parade of Progress tour bus. General Motors built 12 of these. The touring exhibit, created by Boss Kettering, complemented the GM Motoramas for a period of 16 years through 1956. There are 9 of the 12 remaining. We are told there's a very active club on these, and we're told that 3 of them are in running condition, and 3 of the survivors are restored in their original Parade of Progress configuration like this one.
Now, how active can the club be if there are only 12? I'm just curious here.
A lot of enthusiasts.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not necessarily
Thank you.
owners. But if you go to Disney World today and you ride one of the buses that takes you from the hotels to the park, you'll note that they are painted and striped and stainless steeled along the bottom, very much like these. Now, this is an iconic machine. When this rolled down Main Street in your town, everybody ran out to look.
I'll tell you who needs to buy this car. It's General Motors, and they need it in the show at the floor of the Renaissance Center when you walk in, for them to point out to the world that they are a true world-class manufacturer.
Starting at $500,000.
Well, then I guess we'll get beyond the $600,000 that some people are lowballing it at.
Now, guys, these originally were diesel powered, but this one here apparently is a 400 cubic inch gasoline motor. That's an engine swap. Will that hurt its value? What do you guys think?
The stainless steel trim down the sides, fluted, which evoked the Streamliner trains that plied cross country, and were the hit of the day as well.
$650, $800. I know the seller of this, and he was hoping to get something above $6.
Two going once, $1 million, $2 million, $1 million, $10 million, $1 million, $9, down $2 million, $9, $2 million, $9, $2, $2, $10 million, $1 million, $9, $2, $1 million, $9, $50, now $2, $1 million, $9, $52, and $1 million, $9, $50, but you get $10 million.
There we go. $2 million, $3, $2 million, $4, $2 million, $3, $4, $2 million, $5, $2 million, $5, $6, $2 million, $7, $2 million, $8, $2 million, $8,
Well, he's trying to decide. The bidding went up $400,000.
Went right past him, didn't it? Spanky Assiter is the auctioneer. He's the world champion auto auctioneer, and you can hear why.
$3 million. $3 million, $2, $3 million,
Top
5,
seller, 2.9.
$3 million, $5, $3 million,
There we go again. $3 million.
$3 million, $7, 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 $3 million, $7. Anybody else? Okay, now $4 million, $2, $4 million, $2, $4 million, $1, $4 million, $2, $4 million, $1, $4 million, $2, $4 million, $1, $4 million, $2 going once. $4 million, $1, $4 million, $2 going twice. $4 million, $1, $4 million, $3, $2 going. I'm going to third last call. You want 2? Sold, ladies.
I'm thinking of the seller. He was hoping for $600,000. Can you imagine how he feels right now? He's got an extra $3.4 million to figure out what to do with.
When most kids were throwing footballs and baseballs and stuff with their fathers, we were pulling the motor out of his 1915 Model T Touring. So we've always been around cars. You know, that's our whole life.
My name is Chris Letteridge.
My name is Patrick Letteridge from Martinez, California. And this is our 56 Chevy Bel Air.
My dad was into antique cars all his life, and he got us hooked. It's a family thing.
When we were younger, it was strange, you know. It was fun, but all our buddies had hot rods, and we were messing with those Model Ts, so we love it now. I do the upholstery, he does the paint, and we kind of both play around with the mechanical, so. This is a 1956 Chevy Bel Air. The gentleman we bought it from did about a 4-year restoration on it. We just finished it up. Touched up a few things in the upholstery, but just kind of cleaned it up and made it look good. It's got a 350, high-performance 350 Chevy engine in it, 350 turbo 50 transmission, 4-wheel disc brakes, so it's really a nice car.
It's modern, but it's old school. And a lot of people like that instead of the super modern stuff. Once you were going on a tour, and my brother and myself drive my dad's car in his honor, and it means a lot.
Between all the fighting and yelling at each other, we still seem to stay together as a family, and the cars have definitely kept us together. Yeah, we love the cars. It's our whole life, so.
Well, here we are on time. Yes, we are. Right to the minute. On time with Bridgestone. You've heard the story of the brothers who customized and restored this 56 Chevy Bel Air. All the yelling and screaming, but the car kept them together, and they have produced a beauty. Now it will go on the block.
Boy, they've done a really great job. This car has great eye appeal. It is a 56 Chevrolet Bel Air two-door sedan, or two-door post, if you will, meaning that the windows are fully framed, and there's that B-pillar behind the door, which gives added strength to the body, and it is this body style that is the lightest of all those used on the Tri-Year Chevys.
I love the paint style. I call this a dreamsicle look, that orange together with the white. Interesting talking about the brothers working on this, keeping them together. Well, I was just talking with them a moment ago. They finished this about a week ago. Can you imagine the tensions running between the brothers about a week ago when they know that they've got Las Vegas coming up and they've got to get this done? But when you look underneath, when you look up above, as you saw the engine compartment just a moment ago, it is nicely done top to bottom.
Very pretty build with the small block Chevrolet. Power brakes and what looks like a dual master cylinder system for safety, which was required from, I think, 1968 on. Kind of rare to see in one of these 50s hot rods where you have a dual master cylinder and dual circuits, either front and rear brakes or right front, left rear, left front, right rear. That's a good safety advance right there.
Yeah, and then when you look down at the wheels themselves, they've put disc brakes on, so it's not just that safety aspect, but you've also got the extra braking power, which you've got up front, and then it looks like we've also got discs on the rear as well. So once again, it's got all the nice touches, front, back, and beautifully prepared, beautifully done.
And all those improvements hide in plain sight. Very nice taupe or tan leather interior, tilt steering column. There's a lot to like here.
Yeah, to look at the brothers, Chris and Pat Lederich. A little bit of nervousness, tension, as there they are, as they watch their baby roll to the edge of the stage, putting that little bit of extra pressure on the bidding.
All the nice original stainless steel trim, but none of the Chevrolet or Bel Air badging is present.
Now 40, hey, 40 pound dollar last call. Hey, 40,000, you're up here. 40 pounds and $39, 39 pound, you get 40 pound dollar now. Hey, so $39,500.
39,000. And with that, here comes the Lambo in Arancio, Italian for orange, and boy, is it ever. Now again, there's a reserve on this car. We don't know what it is, but it will either be released or have to be met by the bidding before the agreement between the consignor and the auction company will allow the car to sell.
1,400 miles on this one, Bob. It's a 2013 first year for the Aventador, top of the Lamborghini line. List price $435,000. And I raised the question in previewing this yesterday, is this car an instant collectible? If we get to 435 and more, then the answer is absolutely yes. There's that beautiful V12, 700 horsepower, driving not just the rear, but all four wheels.
And I love that the designers of this car saw fit to view the engine as if it was art. These are glass windows in that. It's not plastic, it's glass, safety glass. It's just a nice touch.
You know what? I stood by this car with any number of my colleagues when it was out on the showroom floor next door. But now I'm seated about 100 yards away from it. You know what? It looks even more beautiful from here. What an amazing shape in the profile.
The combination of gentle curves and sharp angles is especially striking. And this thing looks like a stealth fighter designed to elude radar. And look at the LEDs, the signature Y shape there in the headlights from the LEDs. Black interior with orange stitching. And oh, not just the look, but the sound of this one when it rolled up. This is awesome. $350,000 and counting, but we're not there yet.
Say something that might have escaped Area 51, which doesn't exist.
Yeah, just ask anybody who works there.
There's that Y shape repeated in the taillight LEDs. Orange calipers on the ceramic brakes. Oh my goodness.
The reserve is now off. The car will sell. We're at $400,000. And now the bidders have extra incentive to keep going until they get it.
Full warranty through April 2016 from Lamborghini, so the new car warranty still applies.
6.5-liter V12 motor capable of 700 horsepower.
Well, where Ithaca Green was the signature Lamborghini color for many years, I think this is more striking, and I think this has overtaken it right here. Cover car of this year's Barret Jakson Las Vegas catalog. Awesome.
This really is automaking as art. Beautiful. Geometric forms everywhere, but they all work together.
This is what you drive if you don't care what anybody thinks. 400,000 in the skybox.
Well, this is every teenage boy's new pinup car, just as the Countach was a generation ago.
And it sells at $400,000.
Well, this is a chance to buy movie history. Mustang, as we all know, is the premier car featured in movies. Over 3,000 movies have featured Mustang. This is the actual Need for Speed vehicle, a one-in-one, a chance to own history right here today. For a very good cause, by the way, Henry Ford Health Systems.
Going once, twice, last call. 260, 255. The new man. Having to get to 60. Having to get 60. Having to get to 60. Man, 50 pounds. Chicken spin. Take them out. Having to get 260,000. All in 70, 270, 270, 270. Having to get 280. Having to get 280. Having to get 280. Having to get 280. Having to get $289. Having to get 80. All in and all done. Having to get 280,000. Tie you on. Having to get 280,000. Having to $280,000 last call. I had 275. I'll do it. You want it? 275.
Come on.
And now 90. $300,000 for the car. I'm going to get $300,000 on it. I'm going to get $300,000. I'm going to get $300,000 to be great. I'm going to get $300,000. Tidy on it.
Well, Lower Right says I'm done.
I'm going to get 300. One more time. I'm going to get $300,000.
What's another 10,000 to a man of your status?
300,000. Stand up, be a man. I'm going to get 300,000. I'm going to get 300,000. I'm going to get $300,000. $300,000 is there. 10. Great collection of Mustangs. It went to the right home. Thank you all. Thank all the.
Thanks, Steve. The Get Your Heart Racing charity is a part of Henry Ford Hospital in Detroit. And 100 years ago, the legend Henry Ford founded Henry Ford Hospital to deliver the best care possible to the residents of Detroit. He succeeded in that, and as such, the advanced care that is happening at the Edith and Benson Ford Heart and Vascular Institute has become legendary for saving the lives of people that otherwise wouldn't survive. And so I'm proud today to really talk to the winning bidder of this car about making a new legend, okay? Being the bidder that is saving lives. Maybe somebody's daughter, maybe somebody's grandmother, but they're going to save lives today. So please join this Get Your Heart Racing charity team with Ford Motor Company, Barret Jakson, and help us save lives. Be a legend.
There we go. 10, 20, 30.
Ford Racing is also offering a free supercharger to increase the performance of this car.
$60,000, $70,000, $80,000, $80,000, $80,000, $90,000, $90,000 to be $90,000, $100,000, $100,000,
And the Coyote 5-liter engine, unlike the Chrysler, the Challenger, and the Camaro, has no push rods. Ford has been utilizing overhead valve or overhead cam technology in their V8s for about the last 15 to 20 years. Different strategy, same effect, lots of horsepower.
Again, you're buying an opportunity that you can't really put a price tag on, because the Mustang will be the last of that incredible run of cars. It's the 50th anniversary. It only comes around every 50 years. This is an absolutely incredible opportunity to help an amazing cause. Come on, guys. All you Mustang guys and girls, you know this car's worth a whole lot more than that. The charity needs the money.
I want to give Jim Owens a lot of credit here, because he is the link between Ford's heritage and Ford's future when it comes to the Mustang. 1,964 of these cars will be built. That was the year the original Mustang was introduced at the New York World's Fair on April 18th. It's a very special number, and I think you'll see some special things happen come next April 18th.
170, 165, 170, 165, 170, 165, 70, down 5, 175, 175,
So in the Big Three fundraising race, Ford has now passed Chevy to take the lead, with Dodge still to be heard from an hour from now.
is really good at helping men and women with intellectual disabilities, and the charity Opportunity Village is a very, very important charity. It was a very important charity to Elvis. It's a very important charity to Vegas. And this is not only a wonderful car, but every penny goes to a wonderful charity. Linda?
Well, thank you. I'm a mom of one of the people at Opportunity Village, and Opportunity Village is 60 years old in the community, and some of our wonderful people are here. We serve 2,000 people every day, and we save taxpayers $40 million every year because of our resourcefulness, and we are just thrilled. It's our turn. 60 years, we're ready for this sale.
Thank you, Linda. Again, you heard about the car, you heard about the charity. Now let's rock and roll. Spanky, let's sell this monster.
Hellcat 10,000, 20, have it on 50, 150, 75, have it on 75,000, 100,000, 75, 200, and 250.
One of the cool features on the Hellcat Challenger is one of the headlamps at the nose of the car is actually not a headlamp at all. On the driver's side, the inboard light is actually the air catcher. It grabs cool air from outside as the car goes through the atmosphere, draws it into the motor, so it's even cooler and denser by the time it gets on the supercharger. That's cool. Literally.
There's Dale Ledbetter working for Rick Hendrick. Wonder if that's Rick on the other end of the phone. Jim Perkins looking on. Been described as one of one, and with the car comes a full-sized iPad loaded with the electronic vehicle build book. No 3-ring binders for this Hellcat. Also a video documentary, still shots, vehicle footage, engine dyno run data. On and on and on.
It's cool. The box itself is actually the cover to the supercharger. That's awesome.
Let's make some noise, Vegas.
What do you do? Have it about 8 half, 8 half, a quarter, $825,000. $800,000 is the bid. Have it about 825. Have it about 825. Have it about 25. Have it about 25. Have it about 25. Have it about 800. 8 half, 8 half, about 850. Have it about 150. Have it about 825. Have it about $125,000. 825 going once. 800,000 is the bid. Have it about 825,000 going twice. Have it about 800,000. 825. Have it about 25. Have it about 825. Have it about 25. 825. 850. Have it about 850. Have it about 25. Have it about 50. Have it about 50. Have it about 50. Have it about 50. Have it about 850. Have it about 25.
There might have been 2 bidders trying to get in at 825. Gentleman on the front row says, I'm done. We'll see.
Austin, say please, buddy. Beg. Do whatever it takes. 850,000. Have it be 25. Have it be 50. 850 once. 850. Third down twice. 825 a bid. 850. Third and last call. Ladies and gentlemen, give Mr. Rick Hendrick. Hendrick on his march. Sold.
Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, Elvis Presley's 1967 Cadillac.
Well, this car's been in a
Coupe
private collection since 1979, and it's been on display in several Elvis Presley museums. Elvis bought this in November 1967. He and his wife Priscilla often seen driving it around Memphis and to the ranch shortly after they were married. It includes the original bill of sale, the title, the original General Motors warranty protector plate with the name Elvis Presley listed, and listing the address of the Graceland Mansion. Newspaper clippings and a copy of a book, Hurry Home Elvis, in which the Cadillac is mentioned.
It has been repainted at least one time. The underhood area is original and as driven. No harm done. 1967 was the final year for this styling cycle, and the stacked headlamps, they'd go away for 68, as would the 429, being replaced by the 472 for 1968.
We have everything just like
when Elvis Presley grew up in the 1950s, in relative poverty, Cadillac was the standard of the world, and it was the dream of just about every young American in that time to be able to prosper to the point of buying a Cadillac. And perhaps that is part of why these cars figure so prominently in the Elvis legacy. Not just Elvis, a lot of people wanted to be seen and own and drive one of these at that time.
Including my late father-in-law.
Oh, I agree, Bob. My grandfather supervised a group of salesmen, and as part of the show of the success he had enjoyed and that they could achieve, he bought a brand new Cadillac from Fields Cadillac in downtown Chicago every 2 years up until the time he retired. And then my grandmother and he kept buying Cadillacs and going on road trips all over America for as long as they could drive. That's just the way it was in the 1960s.
Yeah, and it wasn't relative poverty, I'd have to say, Mike. Elvis was born into fairly extreme poverty. If you ever get a chance to visit Elvis's birthplace in Tupelo, Mississippi, I thoroughly recommend it. You'll see the house he grew up in, the church he attended, which was moved to the site, and there's a museum there with a variety of displays. Interesting history. You think you know Elvis? Dig deeper.
I think one of my dad's proudest moments and one of my saddest was when he traded his 65 GTO that he had bought new in on a brand new 69 Caddy Eldorado. That was an executive class car, and he was a well-placed executive, a vice president at the company where he worked. On the other hand, I miss that goat. It wasn't about a year later before I finally was able to buy one of my own. But Cadillac, yep, that was the standard of the world.
Yes, sir. All right, Milton, you get 60,000. 80,000 to drive. Now 90. 80, 90, 80, 90, 85, all in and all done. 85 and a half. Sold $80,000 in the skybox.
Fire it down. Pretty cool.
800 some odd horsepower from that V10. Tweaking the chassis as it sits on the trailer and it's revved. Boy, that car brings back some memories. And
1998 was not Ferrari's best year. Mika Hakkinen, McLaren Mercedes, had the measure of Ferrari teammates Michael Schumacher and Eddie Irvine. You note the Shell and Magneti Marelli logos and that of Fiat, Ferrari's corporate parent. The other logos, the strobe stripes, represent Marlboro, Ferrari's major backer. But restrictions on cigarette advertising on television in those times prevented them from spelling out the name. So they simply used the shape of their logo.
Famous Delta. This was a bit of a color change for Ferrari at the time. Nobody was really happy with it, but it more closely matched that of the sponsor Mike just mentioned. Michael Schumacher had only been there for a short time. Eddie Irvine had joined him. And they were just getting their super team together. Designer Rory Byrne, Ross Brawn on the pit strategy. And this car was consigned before Michael had his skiing accident over the Christmas holiday that still has him in an induced coma in a Grenoble, France hospital.
To answer the question of what do you do with this besides display it in your living room, Ferrari has an entire division devoted to taking these former race cars and allowing their owners to use them at track days. They send engineers and mechanics, and they will run this car for you just like you had your own personal Formula One team.
Driven on 38 occasions in testing by Michael Schumacher, who was infamous for wanting to do all of the testing, bugging the engineers at all hours.
The left side pod is signed by Michael's teammate Eddie Irvine and dated 2009.
Following year, Michael would break his leg in a crash at Silverstone, England. Missed 6 or 7 races. Eddie Irvine would challenge for the World Championship. When he returned, Michael drove in support of Eddie, trying to derail Mika Hakkinen and McLaren. And that was unusual for Michael. But it demonstrated the depth of his commitment to the Scuderia.
Bob, I have not seen this block so crowded with interested onlookers since the Batmobile sold here last year.
Pretty cool piece. $1.7 million.